Hey, storytelling Run. I want to give a review of Godzilla Minus One. I am totally a Godzilla fan. I actually have the big toy from when I was a kid. It was one of my favorite toys. I should pull it out, but I even have a bunch of the little toys, the little guys like this size from Japan, like Japanese rubber. I have them in a bag in the garage. I've redone my room and I still haven't like put everything back up. So I should be showing this stuff off, but I'm too lazy. And I even have like almost all the movies on DVD or Blu-ray, sitting somewhere over here. I don't know the 3 eras. I forgot the names. Whatever. Anyway, Godzilla Minus One. I was really impressed with this film. I was really happy. I took my wife. We saw it at the TLC, formerly the Mann's Chinese Theater in Hollywood here. Epic screen. It was actually pretty crowded. It was a Sunday night. It wasn't sold out, but it was a good crowd. Took up all the middle section and all of the back, so it was pretty good. Really enjoyed this film with my wife. She enjoyed it. She rolls her eyes at all my love for Godzilla films at home here. Obviously I'm a crazy right-wing Christian on YouTube, and there's no Christianity in this film or in Godzilla, but whatever. I just want to say some things about this film because I think for a Christian it's pretty good film, and it's not woke at all, so we should encourage that. Christianity is not big in Japan, but we certainly know that the Japan's culture is influenced by Christianity. So here I'm going to start my rant here. Japan's culture is influenced by Christianity because America under General MacArthur, we defeated Japan and we rebuilt their nation. And so their culture now, all their wonderful culture, very westernized, but I love Japanese culture, love their food, love manga. I love Godzilla, love their samurai flicks. Very Western and Christianized, and they're living a wonderful life. Now, the Christian faith in Japan is not, I don't know, the percentage is pretty low, and the church there is actually having difficulties, I think, but they're a very isolated type of nation, and when they sort of get a culture, they don't really change much, right? Before this, when they were the empire, they were freaking brutal, and they were horrifying. I read the book Rape of Nanking, and it is Marquis de Sade times 10. Marquis de Sade times 10. It was horrifying what they did to the Chinese when they were pagans, when they worshiped the emperor. You could put that in a role-playing game, but it would be X. NC-17 X rated. Whatever torture porn is, that's what it would be. So yeah, I'm going there. I read the book. I read it. So I know what they did. Rape of Nanking. It's an old book. Anyway, this was a really great film. And I really appreciated what they did. The writer and the homage he gave to America, or the references he gave to America and General MacArthur was good because it was light. No criticism of America, defeating Japan. Nothing about Nagasaki and Hiroshima, but although that's sort of, and it shows that Godzilla was created by the nuclear bomb in Bikini Atolls kind of thing still, so it references that, not Hiroshima or Nagasaki. And Japan deserved to get bombed on Nagasaki and Hiroshima. Whether the men, women, and children are all guilty of the crime of worshiping the emperor and creating this death cult that spread across the world, let God sort it out. But without Nagasaki and Hiroshima, the entire nation of Japan was going to fight us. And because of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, they surrendered and have become the Japan that we know today. And we did the right thing by bombing them, by nuclear wasting them, and doing it to 2 cities. Because in that regard, it was a strategy. They didn't know how many bombs we had, and that's all we had. We only had 2. They didn't know that. Because we did 2, they thought we had more, and so they surrendered because they said, "Well, we can't fight up against this. They're wasting our cities." So the emperor and all their religious zealots surrendered peacefully at that point, unconditionally, which is what you do. You make evil. You can't get rid of evil. What you can do is subdue it. And that's what we did here with Hiroshima and Nagasaki. We subdued evil. And because we subdued it, now people there are living a pretty good life, or they're workaholics and all that stuff, but whatever. But this film, okay, so really a really good film, really good storyline. I just want to hit on some things. I'm a little disappointed in I want to say this. I'm a little disappointed. I was watching the Nerdrotic, the libertarians on YouTube that are doing a great job against the woke. And they were dogging like Kong versus Godzilla and, the American Godzilla films. I love those. I think they're great. They're not woke. There's no gay characters. Oh, I hope that in this new Godzilla X Kong, there's not going to have any pushing gay or lesbian characters on us, for God's sake. Even though I don't worship Godzilla or Kong, but I really, I just love this relief, this rest that we get from the woke preaching and just having fun, adventurous stories like this. And if you want to take Jesus Christ out of it, fine. Even God knows we need a break. So, in our worldly little pittance. But this film was really good. The virtues that they were pushing were critical of the Japan before, which was really nice. They actually and they did it very lightly, but they did criticize their own government before the war, kind of thing. Because for instance, the guy was a kamikaze pilot. And they said, we're not going to let our people just die like in the past. We didn't even have ejection seats for our soldiers or our pilots. That was so they were saying in this film how they didn't care for life, the old Japanese empire, whereas now they're going to change. And why are they changing? Because America took them over and changed them. But they didn't say that, which is fine. But they did not criticize America at all in this film. It was the Americans were too busy with the Soviet Union, so the Japanese had to save their own country, but they were going to do it by valuing life, as opposed to the previous Japanese emperor, and government not valuing life, wasting life, like with kamikazes and all that. So that was very cool lines in this story. And I just saw it on here. Where is it? They show this scene where they're all volunteering to fight Godzilla in the end. And this is really good, a really great scene. They showing men having to decide on their own, because the Japanese Navy couldn't do it and the Americans couldn't do it, because they didn't want to show, the story is that they didn't want to show themselves as a war footing to the Soviet Union and to that issue, the global issues. And so they had, so the individual volunteers had to do it to fight this sea creature coming to Tokyo called Godzilla. And these guys had to decide. So we don't have to do this. I could leave right now. And the guy's like, yes, this is purely volunteer. And so many of them left, but then many of them stayed. And that was a great scene. They didn't judge the men that left, that want to take care of their families or just didn't want to fight anymore. They were tired of war. But the men that stayed, we're gonna risk our lives for our country. So very good, very virtuous scene of men, all Japanese, all white or whatever color we call Japanese. I didn't care if there was a Mexican or a black or a Korean or a woman or a gay person. I didn't care. Well, I don't want any of that. I want who was there historically, even if this is a fantasy film. I wanted to still have its one foot in reality and then one foot in the fun entertainment, and no feet in wokeism or Marxism or pushing their cultural Marxism on us. So this is a wonderful film. The woke are going to hate this film. I love this film. I hope you go see it and support it. It's still out in theaters. But it was a really good film. I really enjoyed it. My wife really enjoyed it because it's really cool. I mean, this is big. Look at this. It was a $15 million budget and they did a great job. But there's this, let me see if they show this scene. I think I saw it in here. So this is great. This is like right after World War I or World War II, Tokyo, after the air raids and bombings, and he comes back home to this in Tokyo, and he has to build his life. So they're in the sort of early part of the movie. There's this whole wonderful drama, character building part of this thing. So at first I was like, where is this going? I thought this was a Godzilla movie, but it's a good storyline in there, and it pays off, and it's a wonderful story to watch, along with the epic Godzilla parts. Then this scene, now there's the big epic, Godzilla destroying and stuff scenes, but this scene was great. It was like a Jaws scene where, and these characters, showing them their characters and their bravery, they're having to do something, they're being chased. There's a great scene here, a shot. I'm gonna show it if it's. Anyway, they're being chased by him, and it shows his head coming up, and it looked fake but real at the same time, and I loved it. It looked like a miniature, but then whoa, you know. And they showed him the Godzilla chasing after him from behind, and they're all like ah, and it was a great scene early on. It was really wonderful, and just a wonderful film. You should definitely. I would go for the big screen. Now it's subtitled, so that's a kind of a bummer in the sense of, you know, your kids can't really enjoy it the way you would hope they could. But anyway, go see Godzilla -1 if you can. It was really, I mean, I would do it as a date night. It actually kind of has both things that you and man and woman want in this. But both of us want to see virtuous people doing virtuous things, men and women, and seeing the roles of men and seeing the roles of women. And this film does it. Thank you, Japanese dudes, white Japanese dudes. I don't know, influenced by white colonizers called General MacArthur and the U.S. Army and Navy and Marines. Thank you for this wonderful film, Godzilla -1. Is it? Some say it's like the best Godzilla film. Like the neurotic people were saying that. I think it was really good. I really like, but you know, I love the Kong Godzilla versus. I like the Monarch series. I really do. I really enjoy those. I really think those did great. Like from the, I guess, director Gareth on. I really liked all of those, and you know, they really revitalized my joy in Godzilla. This film really did a great job of revitalizing my joy in Godzilla as well. Shin Godzilla, that one, previous Japanese one, that one was hilarious, but did not revitalize my joy in Godzilla. But it was still a hilarious film, the Godzilla Shin or whatever. The previous Japanese production, but this one was great. I'm telling you, man. So go see it. It's worth it. As a Christian, I say go see it. It has such great values, and it's a great date movie. Believe it or not, it's a great date movie. Take your wife, and if you don't have a wife, get married. Okay, because that's what we Christians believe. All right, in the game of life, roll holy dice. Godzilla -1. Oh, I got this. Yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do with it. I'll probably just throw it away. But it was kind of, you know, out they gave this out at the theater. Does anybody want? I got 2 of these. Maybe I can. If you want one, let me. No, I'm not gonna ship it out. Too lazy. Anyway, I don't know when we do those. All right. Game of life. Roll holy dice.